shooting the basketball.
And he's a guy who doesn't...
Looking for back-to-back wins. We are underway in Atlanta, and it's Georgia Tech that starts with the ball. George was the hero in that win against Clemson, had a career-high 20. And now an opportunity to build off that double overtime victory against a stingy Virginia defense.
Virginia, one of the better defensive teams in college basketball, and that's what they do right there. Turnover. And when we spoke with Coach Damon Stoudemire at shoot-around, he said, look, we're going to be tested tonight against a very good defense in Virginia.
I think for the Cavaliers, particularly on the road this year, as you take a look at the UVA starting five, it's turning that defense into offense, particularly on the road where they are winless through 4 games this season. And the starting five for Georgia Tech, headlined by 2 freshmen, Naithan George and Baye Ndongo. Miles Kelly, the sharpshooter as well, the junior from Stone Mountain, Georgia. He is shooting a lot better from 3. He slumped a bit mid-season, but he's found a hot hand for this Georgia Tech offense. Has it here. Reece opens the scoring from 3. They've got a lot of guys that can light it up from deep.
And that's what Virginia does not want to do. When we spoke with Tony Bennett, he was concerned. He said, look, Georgia Tech does a great job spacing the floor. They made 15 threes in a double overtime win versus Clemson on the road.
Ryan Dunn stole it away. Baye Ndongo ripping it away from Dunn. Right back to Reeves, same spot, missed it this time. Georgia Tech not shy, they will let it fly in transition.
Defending the three-point line is going to be key for Virginia in this game.
And a Georgia Tech team with plenty of confidence after that road win in double overtime against Clemson. Here's Kelly in attack mode, the floater falls.
Well, that's a tough baseline jumper by Kelly. Again, McKneely right on him. That's a beautiful body control and finish by Kelly.
Miscommunication. Beekman was there to keep the possession alive. Eight seconds to shoot. Virginia out of rhythm offensively to start this game. Dunn trying to change it, and he does. Ryan Dunn drills it from 3.
And that's a beautiful find by Beekman. Snaked the ball screen that time and then threw it out to Dunn. That's excellent offense that time. Shot clock winding down by Virginia.
Georgia Tech trying to spread Virginia out. George fouled, and he'll head to the line for 2. There's Virginia head coach Tony Bennett. What a record against Georgia Tech. 17-2, including 10 in a row. But this will be a tough one today on the road, playing a Georgia Tech team that he was highly complimentary of.
Yeah, and both these coaches really had high praise for one another. Both guys feeling pretty good about their team in terms of coming into this one off of wins, but certainly Virginia has had the better hand.
And first-year head coach Damon Stoudemire coming over from the NBA. He said that we haven't quite finished some of these games, so our record isn't really reflective of the fight and the talent that he feels like he has on his team this year.
Yeah, and I think they may have turned a corner winning that game on the road versus Clemson. They were down 8 points on minute 33 to go in that game. Very young team. That was a gutsy comeback win against a very good Clemson team on the road.
Minor muscles it home. He's been a nice bright spot in the last few games. Jordan Minor coming off a season-high 16.
Yeah, and I think he brings the physicality to that Virginia team. When we spoke to the coaching staff, that right there, the finishes, that's a nice find by Beekman.
George working on McKneely. Pull-up pop. Hits it. Naithan George continues to be lights out.
We talked about his performance on the road against a very good Clemson team where he put up 26 and only one turnover in that game.
Right back to Minor on the block, trying to spin his way free, and he traveled. Beekman all over Kelly. That'll be a matchup to watch tonight. By Ndongo, going right into Ryan Dunn and cashes in.
Well, the thing that's impressive with Georgia Tech, they're a very balanced team. Again, they get 5 guys out on the court that can all score, and that time they're getting it done in the post. Excellent patience and spacing.
Beekman. What a follow jam! Ryan Dunn hammers it home.
My goodness. You talk about an arm coming out of nowhere with the putback dunk. That is a big-time offensive rebound putback.
Foul on the floor. 2 teams trading punches early. Georgia Tech a 4-point.
A lot of that, I think, is going to be fixed with the addition now of Jordan Minor in the lineup for them. He provides some physical presence for them, in particular on the defensive glass. I think that's the key thing. Look, their wings and guards are going to defend. I think, though, the rebounding is going to be key in this game.
That's been a strong start for Georgia Tech, an 11-7 lead 5 minutes in, and they've made their last 3 shots. Kyle Sturdivant with the ball. He's been a spark plug off the bench for this Yellow Jackets team. Ndongo traveled. A freshman who's been outstanding coming from Senegal. He's had 9 straight games in double figures.
Georgia Tech in man-to-man.
Blake Buchanan missed it. Freshman on the front court for this Virginia team.
Georgia Tech does a great job in their half-court offense, spacing the floor and then setting hard ball screens and pin downs.
Ndongo attacking Dunn. Finds Kelly in the corner. Misfires. Up ahead, McKneely. Decides to back it out to Beekman. Reece Beekman in attack mode. And that's what Virginia needs more of. Beekman, the catalyst.
And that's the area of his game that has improved. His mid-range, really love it. And again, credit Tony Bennett and their staff. His improvement year over year at Virginia really has been impressive. You know he defends, but I think that part of his game really has grown.
Georgia Tech head coach David Stoudemire calling Beekman the head of the Virginia Snake. He certainly has been that throughout his time with the Cavaliers. Sturdivant can't connect from 3. And Virginia starting to string together some stops. This is more like it.
And that's, again, typical Virginia D right there. Again, forcing you into deep contested 2s or 3s. And that's what David Stoudemire and staff did not want his team to do. They want to continue to run their offense, try to get some paint touches off the bounce or post-entry passes.
Dante Harris into the game for the Hoos, returned on Wednesday after 2 months out against Virginia Tech, looked good. That's a big boost in the backcourt to join Beekman as a primary ball handler. Beekman trying to win it back, batted around, stays with the Yellow Jackets. Offensive rebound, Claude trying to kick it out. Buchanan got his foot on it. So it'll stay Yellow Jackets ball underneath their own hoop. Shot clock resets to 20.
20 seconds on the shot clock.
And in Virginia's losses, that's been really one of the areas, the rebounding, defensive rebounding, that has been a concern.
Wide open in the corner. And Georgia Tech makes the Cavaliers pay. Tafara Gapari.
And that's all set up by Naithan George. What a beautiful pass. Drive baseline and then kick it to the corner for a wide open three.
McKneely trying to answer, leaves it short. Foul called against Groves on the floor. Georgia Tech does such a nice job spreading you out because really all 5 guys on the floor can knock down a 3.
And that's, again, the beauty of this team. Coach Bennett talked about this in terms of how they space the floor. The other thing, when we spoke to the coaching staff of Georgia Tech, they want to push the pace in this game, see if they can get out and transition off makes or misses.
And that's easier said than done against this Virginia team, but so far, 8 minutes in, they've done a nice job controlling the tempo. Getting more in transition than Virginia's accustomed to giving up. Harris right to the rim, scoop to the hoop, Dante Harris.
Well, having him back into the lineup, I think he brings a couple of things. I'm going to call him a poor man's version of Kihei Clark in terms of his defensive presence and ability to get into the paint.
Coleman answers with a 3 to extend the Tech lead to 6. You're right about Harris, so that is a welcome addition after 2 months out injured. Looked good in his first action on Wednesday in the win against Virginia Tech. Both of these teams riding midweek wins, trying to go back-to-back in ACC play. Harris lines it up, off the mark. Great pass by George. Gapari didn't take it. Sturdivant does, and hits! Kyle Sturdivant drills it from deep.
Well, the patience that Georgia Tech is showing early on in this game, impressive. But again, all set up by the dribble penetration of Naithan George.
Bond trying to answer. Tipped in, rolls around, doesn't drop. Georgia Tech on a 6-0 run, looking for more. Great ball movement, another good look from 3. That time it doesn't fall.
And the quality of looks that Georgia Tech is getting from 3, really impressive against one of the better defensive clubs in Virginia.
That was halfway down, but doesn't drop for McKneely. And Tony Bennett told us during these road struggles, Virginia 0-4 on the road this season. He said, we haven't been able to stop the runs. Georgia Tech on a 6-0 run, make it 8-0 as Naithan George gets that to go. And now Georgia Tech doubling up Virginia 22-11.
Well, the play of George, that time showing off the mid-range.
Goaltend the call. Georgia Tech wants that reviewed. Gapari saying he was not in the cylinder. The officials will take a look. ACC Men's Basketball is brought to you by Old Dominion Freight Line, helping the world keep promises. Malcolm Huckabee, Jay Alter with you. Georgia Tech up 22-13. The Yellow Jackets, Malcolm, they're not shy. They're going to let it fly from 3.
Yeah, they've been quality looks that they've gotten in this first half thus far. All off of good ball movement and dribble drives. In particular, Naithan George has been able to break down this Virginia D right here, close out late. And that was a concern right here. Again, they made 15 on the road versus Clemson. Right now, Virginia's got to do a better job defending the 3-point line.
This is a Georgia Tech team that's a lot better than their 9-8 record. They started the year 8-3, wins against Mississippi State and Duke, both ranked wins. Then they fell in a 5-game losing streak. Every single one of those games They were within striking distance in the second half, and 4 of them actually led in the second half. Finally able to finish a game at Clemson in double overtime, and now playing with a lot of confidence to start this game up 9. Shot clock down to 2. Coleman has to heave it. Nothing but the bottom of the net. Debo Coleman.
Well, you can't play any better defense than that right there. That's a contested pull-up jumper. Shot clock winding down. That's just a tough bucket under pressure.
Georgia Tech has started this game shooting 60% from the floor. Virginia's opponents usually under 40. Foul called on Ndongo. Freshman not happy about it. They will send Jordan Minor to the line.
And this is a nice little dump ball pass by Rhodey that time. Again, great action by Virginia. Crowd did not like that call. I think it was more probably with the body. Nonetheless, 2 free throws.
Minor, the transfer from Merrimack, where he played 4 years. He's had a slow start to his Virginia tenure, but coming off that season-high 16 points of the Commonwealth Clash rivalry win against Virginia Tech. And they really need him to start producing at that level on a consistent basis, because he was brought in to really anchor this front court.
Yeah, and I think the physicality, really the big thing for him. Rebounding and then be that physical presence in the post for Virginia. You're right. They're certainly going to need his presence in ACC play.
Reeves from the corner. That's been the hot spot for him, but missed it that time. And George tagged with the foul on the ensuing board.
Foul charge to number 2, Naithan George, his first.
Well, that's what it has to be for Virginia, right? If you're going to go on the road and start winning games after an 0-4 start away from home, it's got to be with the defensive end. That's what this program's built on.
Absolutely. I think, again, the D has been there in terms of contesting shots. I think the big thing is the rebounding. Again, that's been problematic for Virginia.
Harris, step back, can't hit it. Kelly, swatted by Dunn. Great recovery by Ryan Dunn. Virginia going to need to continue to dial it on defense. Georgia Tech a 10-point lead in the first. George has been inserted into this starting lineup. Very unheralded freshman, only had 3 offers. Seattle U, Corpus Christi, Sam Houston State. Damon Stoudemire took a shot on him, and boy, he has delivered.
I tell you what, that's a pretty good eye by Damon Stoudemire and their staff. And again, the way that he has played, in particular on the road and that win against Clemson, and then tonight following up against one of the better defensive teams in Virginia. Early on, 6 points, 2 turnovers. 2 assists, no turnovers.
Coleman draws the foul. McKneely, who was guarding George to start this game, but Tony Bennett's now put Beekman on George. That's the ultimate praise for the freshman point guard.
Yeah, again, it's been because of his dribble drives. This right here, though, again, Georgia Tech attacking the paint. They passed up some threes that time. Hard drive in the paint and coming up at the free throw line.
It was slow going for Naithan George at the start of his Georgia Tech career. Didn't play the first 3 games, and Damon Stoudemire said, I was seeing it in practice, but because he was so unheralded, he didn't know, should I throw this guy right into the fire? Well, since he has taken off. 17 points at Cameron Indoor against Duke, 20 points on the road at Clemson. He just has such a poise, a fearlessness to him.
Yeah, and I think it's how he's getting his production. Again, under control, and then setting his teammates up for some easy opportunities as well. It's been impressive for the freshman.
And Virginia fans will think it sounds like Kihei Clark, a very unheralded recruit who delivered time and time again for the Cavaliers. Beekman hits a big-time 3, and boy, did the Hoos need that.
Well, one of the best guards in college basketball right there. Again, that's a beautiful pin down. They tried to gamble over the top of the screen. Beekman fades to the corner, and that's great offense by Virginia.
Beekman trying to lock down George, swings it to Kelly in attack mode. Stays with it. Coleman swatted by Dunn, and McKneely comes away with it. That's more like it defensively for Virginia. Georgia Tech has fallen into a scoring drought of 2 minutes and 30 seconds here. Beekman. He's looking for back-to-back threes, can't connect. And Virginia cutting off the passing lanes again. Georgia Tech 3 minutes without a bucket. Rhodey decides to shoot it, and he hits it. Andrew Rhodey. And David Stoudemire takes a timeout. Virginia on a 7-0 run, getting some defensive stops and cashing in on the other end.
Come on now, just hustling. I'm never gonna stop, keep climbing to the top. Yeah, I'm crushing it, crushing it. I'm on my way now. It's my best self. I'm
Please, can I have these, Mommy?
Finding your healthy has never been easier. Start with Sprouts.
Virginia on a 7-0 run. It really has all started with getting stops on the defensive end.
Yeah, I think the switch, putting Reece Beekman on Naithan George, really has been key in this run. George really hurt them early on in this game, getting into the paint. Now that Reece Beekman is on him, that has really negated some of the dribble drives that has collapsed the defense. And I think a big reason why they're on this run right now because of their defense.
They've missed their last 4 shots, and they've turned it over 3 times during this spell. Ndongo back into the game. Shot clock down to 10. Reeves trying to make something happen. Another contest. Ryan Dunn, he is anchoring Virginia defensively right now.
And that's why he's a guy that I believe will play at the next level. Ryan Dunn, again, his ability to block shots and bother shots, Jay, that's a big-time block by Dunn. And the thing I love about it, he kept the ball in play and kept the possession for Virginia.
And the drought continues for Georgia Tech. George trying to end it, and he does! The fearless freshman delivers again.
Well, Damon Stoudemire and staff have found a good one in Naithan George. Hard to believe this guy only had 4 offers, but they have found themselves a really good guard.
9 points already tonight, coming off a career-high 20 at Clemson. Here's Minor. Draws the foul on the block, heads back to the foul line.
And Jay, this has happened a couple of times off a pin down. Again, this is what Minor brings. Again, that physical presence. You look at his frame, built like a defensive lineman. Right there, again, he's got a great frame, and he sets good screens on those pin downs. He's freeing guys up and forcing help, but he has got to pick it up from the free throw line. Some missed opportunities.
And just 1 for 3 today.
Cavaliers substitution.
Groves checks in for Minor after the make. Here's Ndongo. Called for the travel. Good defense by Jacob Rhodes, who's come into the game. Ndongo's been tough to stop in his freshman campaign. 9 straight games in double figures. He's been super consistent for Damon Stoudemire.
And that's an ISO play they went to a lot late in that Clemson game. Put him in a pick and roll or just dive him to the post and let him go to work.
Beekman had a chance to cut the lead in half there, but missed it. George in attack mode. Leaves it off to Ndongo, and nobody was there to stop him.
Well, his basketball IQ and the reads that he makes, again, he is playing at a high level from that point guard position for Georgia Tech. What a beautiful find.
Beekman spins his way in and lays it up and in.
But the veteran says, I'm going to put you down low in the block and just go right at you. Beautiful move by Reece Beekman to answer.
Sturdivant, quick trigger, missed it. 2-possession game. McKneely hits it from 3, and just like that, a 3-point game.
And that's a breakdown in the scouting report. In transition, you cannot leave McKneely open. Beautiful find by Beekman.
Offensive foul called against George. Virginia right back in it. Reece Beekman, the spin cycle. And by Ndongo, and Georgia Tech leads by 3.
That program.
I take it Stoudemire and the Wildcats won that game.
I got no comment. I can neither confirm nor deny if we won or lost in the semis of the Maui. But
before the 3, foul called off the ball against Groves. What made Stoudemire so good as a player?
Well, he was one of undersized. Reminds me of a guy I played with when I was down in Miami, Tim Hardaway. Again, a smaller guard, but in terms of height, but very strong and could get his shot off anywhere, and then had a basketball IQ. Really difficult guy to match up against. And both these coaches, though, really had high praise for each other. Both these guys played at the next level. And again, certainly doing a great job with respect to program.
So you're not surprised to see Stoudemire coaching?
No, not at all. And again, who he played for in college as well, too, playing for the great Lute Olson, and he had some great stories about the impact that he had on him, not only as a player and a coach, but as a man. And again, the staff that he put together, another reason why they've had some success early. Carl Hobbs, Ozzie Wells, all those guys doing a great job early on.
Here's Beekman. Looking for Murray. Threw it away.
And uncharacteristic again, to take a look at Tony Bennett, Virginia, one of the better teams in terms of not turning the ball over. They got 5 early on. That one really unforced.
And they only average 8 turnovers a game, which leads all of Division I. That turnover led to a Kelly 3 off the mark. So still an opportunity to tie it with a 3 here right before halftime. Beekman draws the foul.
And Jay, that's a couple times now in this game. Virginia has set nice pin-down screens for Beekman. That one is he's open right there, decided not to shoot it, but I've been impressed again in this first half, the screening and how clean some of these Virginia guys have come off for looks.
McKneely, you cannot leave him open. Isaac McKneely leads the ACC shooting 52% from three in conference games.
Another breakdown again. He'll hit him contested, but he's certainly going to make you pay when he's that wide open. Just miscommunication by Georgia Tech. There was no screen for him or anything. Nobody picked him up on the out of bounds underneath. Damon Stoudemire's hot over there again. That's just the lack of communication and the breakdown and understanding the scouting report.
Yeah, you know that is bold underline at the top of the scouting report. Can't leave number 11 in blue open. Kelly, the drive, contested, no good. McKneely, the rebound. Under a minute left before halftime, Virginia a chance to go in front. Beekman with 10 on the timer. McKneely, great feed, done. Gives Virginia their first lead of the night.
And that might have been their best offensive possession of the half. Beautiful action by Virginia, and then a nice dump ball pass by McKneely.
Ten seconds left. Cross-court pass knocked away. You can't attempt something like that when you got Reece Beekman on the court.
No, that's a dangerous pass. Almost picked off.
So you have 2 seconds here to just try and get something off.
And I think they're looking to see if there should be some more time on the clock or if the game clock and shot clock are lined up.
Well, Georgia Tech had an 11-point lead in this first half, and they have let it slip away. Stolen. Murray with 2 seconds gets it off in time, and Virginia closes the first half on a 12-0 run. Tony Bennett fired up. This is the best the Cavaliers have looked on the road all points, so they've kind of let that storm take over. This time they've punched back. McKneely a three, left it short. Now the question is, can they protect this 4-point lead and get that first road win of the season? Stolen away. Reece Beekman, and this Virginia defense has been dialed in. They pick up where they left off. And Beekman cashes in the steal and then the three. Everything going Reece Beekman's way.
Key thing defensively, again, when we spoke with Damon Stoudemire, he said, look, against this defense, we cannot turn the ball over. That time, defense led to offense for Virginia. Great steal by Virginia.
Ndongo rejected by Dunn. That's his third block tonight.
Key thing again, block it and keep possession. Dunn has the ability to do that on his defensive side.
Good look for Beekman, couldn't connect that time. Reeves transition three, he misfires. And Georgia Tech continues their offensive struggles. Count the end of the first half, they're now more than 5 minutes scoreless. Great feed. Minor the finish.
The pin downs, again, it's not necessarily a set play by Virginia. They're just setting good screens on the pin downs, and then they're making some nice interior passing again. Another uncontested dunk.
Miles Kelly delivers a much-needed 3. That ends Virginia's 17-0 run.
Tech foul charge to number 13, Miles Kelly, his first team foul.
And look at this passing right here. Again, Baye done off the pin down. And again, there's got to be better communication by Georgia Tech on some of these pin downs. Again, Virginia doing a nice job setting screens and then creating some opportunities off these pin downs.
And Georgia Tech went from up 11 to down 9. They've cut it to 6 here. McKneely passed it off at the last second. Miscommunication there and a turnover.
And they wanted Rhodey to go to the corner. That time he tried to slide up to the wing, and if he stays in the corner, he has a wide open look. Miscommunication and turnover.
And Georgia Tech gives it right back. What has changed offensively for Georgia Tech? They started this game in such a great rhythm that they really can't get back to.
Well, I think the dribble drives have been limited by Virginia, and that has really been the change. And then it's spurred their offense. No communication. We talked about it. McKneely shooting the best in the ACC percentage-wise, and that's another clean look off of a beautiful action.
Kelly can't answer. Tapped out to George. Great feed by Kelly. Claude trying to muscle it through, ripped away, up ahead. Beekman flying, count it, plus the foul. Reece Beekman, an and-one opportunity.
Bennett has created a nice little tree of guys playing at the next level. And Hunter was one of those guys, and you're right, one of the better defenders that you've seen in the ACC, and playing for a pretty big paycheck right now for the Hawks.
Beekman finishes the and one. That's now 9 points off turnovers in this half alone for Virginia as they've blown this lead wide open. Largest lead for either team tonight. Claude battling back. Count it, plus the foul. Ties on Claude, who provided big minutes in the double overtime win against Clemson. Delivers here.
And that's a strong move through contact that time by Claude. And I like that possession by Georgia Tech. Again, they have been shooting jumpers without success in this last 3-minute stretch. Get the ball into the paint. Big time move and finish by Claude.
Beekman, shot clock to 10, and that went off done last. Now Virginia, comfortable cushion here. They've erased a double-digit deficit, and now a 9-point lead. 4 minutes Eastern time right here on ACC Network. Malcolm Huckabee, Jay Alter with you. So something had to give in this matchup tonight because both of these teams were battling streaks that were not going in their favor. Virginia 0-4 away games this year, really struggled in those games. Average margin of losing by 18 points. For Georgia Tech, they have lost 10 straight to Tony Bennett in Virginia. So somebody's breaking one of those streaks tonight. And Virginia up 18-6 in points in the paint. George been quiet, draws the foul. He is scoreless in this second half after 9 in the first.
And that's all set up, though, again, by great spacing. They ran a couple of actions. And that's the freshman, George, going up against Beekman.
That's got to be tough for a kid who's just 19 years old. He wasn't expected to play much this season. Comes in unheralded recruit, has earned playing time, and he's delivered. But now you're going up against Reece Beekman, one of the best defenders in the entire country.
And I've been impressed with his poise. Again, makes really good decisions. A good mid-range game, has shot the ball well. But I've been more impressed with his ability to set his teammates up for some quality looks.
McKneely, great hesitation, and it drops in. Isaac McKneely, perfect touch. And Virginia's made their last 4 shots. And another turnover.
And this right here, again, McKneely, nice head fake and step through, soft touch. And right now he is got 11 points, 3 of 5 from the three-point line. That time showing off the mid-range game. Again, off the curls, they do a great job, fades, and then they're coming back off a little curl.
Beekman in attack mode, right into contact. Reece Beekman delivers again.
Tough. That is through contact. Patient offensive possession. Beekman now up to 15 points.
Reeves, corner 3, drills it. Kawasi Reeves, and Georgia Tech needed that triple.
Well, Jay, that's just a breakdown, and that's happened a lot in this game. Closeouts with their hands down.
Virginia keeps going inside, and it keeps working. Jordan Minor. 24 points in the paint for Virginia, nearly half their scoring tonight. Georgia Tech living and dying by the 3. Coleman misfires. It was the three-point shooting that won Georgia Tech the game on the road against Clemson. Right now, it's hurting them. Trailing by 10, Sturdivant turns on the Jets. Passing up the 3 there, only for Sturdivant to take it and make it. Kyle Sturdivant buries his second triple.
You cannot ask for better ball movement if you're Damon Stoudemire. Ball went left to right, and everybody touched it on that possession.
Beekman, high off the glass, no good. Ryan Dunn pulls down the board. McKneely hits it from deep. Isaac McKneely drills it from the logo.
He has been huge for Virginia in this game. Playing with confidence, no hesitation. That's a big-time 3 to quiet the crowd.
His 4th made 3 tonight. That one the biggest of the bunch. Offensive rebound, cashing in for 2, ties on Claude.
And Tony Bennett hot, thought there was a push on that offensive putback.
Beekman, so crafty. Reece Beekman up to 17.
That's a veteran move right there. Just patience. Dribbled around, made it look like he was going to make a pass, and then raised up for a little pull-up jumper.
Up ahead, Ryan Dunn settles it down. Minor draws the foul. Virginia really starting to roll.
Well, they're showing off their experience, but Isaac McKneely has been hot. for Virginia. This one from the logo. Virginia up 10. Really, again, credit goes to the Virginia defense. They forced them into some tough shots.
And on the flip side, for Tony Bennett and the Cavaliers, his dynamic duo of Beekman and McKneely have been terrific. They've combined for 31 points.
Inside, outside, Beekman has done it from the three-point line, but a lot of his damage in the paint. And then McKneely continues to shoot the ball lights out from beyond the arc.
Jordan Minor steps to the line for 2. Extending this Virginia lead. The Cavaliers trailed by as many as 11 in the first half. Where did they take control of this game?
Well, I think, again, a couple of things. Their defense really has spurred them. We talked about the numbers for Miles and Kelly. That's their calling card, but I think a big reason, the guy at the line, Minor, has given them great production in this game, in particular, that presence in the paint for them.
They finished the first half on a 12-0 run, and the Cavaliers have not looked back. Did not take the first lead of this game until 33 seconds remaining in the half, and they have just kept their foot on the gas. Tony Bennett has to be happy with the effort his team is playing with tonight, especially because of the road struggles we have mentioned, and that can become a mental thing. When you're 0-4 on the road and you're losing by an average margin of defeat of 18 points a game, that can start to get into the psyche.
Well, their defense has showed up tonight. Again, another steal, that time Beekman with the deflection. And now Georgia Tech in a zone. I like this changeup by Damon Stoudemire. See if they can give Virginia a different look. A little matchup zone.
Beekman, 1 second on the shot clock, gets it off. Dunn there to tap it in and clean up the spill. Ryan Dunn. Contested 3, Kelly misfires, and another rebound for Ryan Dunn. On the previous defensive stop, we should mention Reece Beekman, his 200th career steal. He's only the 3rd Cavalier in the history of Virginia basketball to get 200.
And Damon Stoudemire had high praise for Reece Beekman. He said he reminded him of Malcolm Brogdon, who he coached when he was a member of the Celtics staff. So, again, that's pretty good company to be in.
Ndongo, he's been quiet tonight. Needed that bucket.
Well, Georgia Tech has had success when they've gotten the ball into the paint to their bigs. And I think that's something they need to continue to go to.
Dunn, another rebound. That's now 10 to his name in this game. 1 point shy of a double-double.
Foul charge to number 13, Miles Kelly, his second. 4th team foul. Substitution for the Cavaliers, number 4, Andrew Rohde.
Now, the way Georgia Tech shoots the 3, they are not out of this game, but they've got to turn it on and soon here.
Well, they do, and I think a couple of times they've gotten breaks. They've left McKneely open again in this zone right here. McKneely, you must find him.
Harris left alone. Can't make the Yellow Jackets pay. Great pass. Claude wasn't ready to finish it, and Reeves travels. Empty possession after empty possession for Georgia Tech. They're starting to pile up against this stingy Virginia defense.
Yeah, and that's all set up. Great closeout by Rohde again. Close out. And it looked like he slid that pivot foot on that turnover. And only good thing about that, it was not a live ball. Now you got a chance to set up your defense. Beekman out of the game for Virginia.
Shot clock down to 5. McKneely has to heave it. And he buries it. Isaac McKneely from downtown Atlanta. That's his 5th made 3 tonight. Wow.
And that's the only word really right there. Shot clock winding down. He's at the logo.
Unlimited range.
This right here, again, if you're Damon Stoudemire, you just throw your arms up. Again, you get them late in the shot clock. Just what you want, and then McKneely hits a deep 3. He was at the logo right there, and that's a tough break for Georgia Tech. McKneely now 17 points, 5 of 8 from the three-point line. He has been huge for Virginia tonight on the road.
Georgia Tech still trying to claw back in it. Damon Stoudemire decides to go full court pressure here. But the way Virginia takes care of the basketball, the way they defend, you're only down 13, but that might feel like 20.
Absolutely. I think the thing is defensive rebounding for Georgia Tech, and then defending this guy on the three-point line right here, McKneely.
Groves goes baseline, lays it up and in. Now a 15-point lead, largest of the night for the Cavaliers. Step back, Kelly hits it. It's a 3.
Tony Bennett felt it should have been a push-off call that time on that 3.
Kelly couldn't swipe it away. And McKneely settles it down. 5 threes to McKneely's name tonight, this time passing. Groves takes it in, skies denied by Ndongo. And Georgia Tech can run up ahead. Oh, everything but the finish. Ndongo fouled. That was almost spectacular from the high-flying freshman.
That would have definitely shown up on SportsCenter top 10 if that one went. Right here, though, the defense by Georgia Tech spurs the break. Virginia, though, still up on top by 12.
Find out where everybody is playing and when. That is Wednesday, 5 Eastern time. Malcolm Huckabee, Jay Alter with you. Second game of our triple header still to come. Duke and Pitt coming up in just a bit on ACC Network. Isaac McKneely and Reece Beekman, those have been the dynamic duo for the Cavaliers tonight. Trailed by 11 in the first half, now leading by 12, trying to finish off their first road win of the season.
And both those guys have shot the ball really well, in particular McKneely, who came into this one 48% from the three-point line. He has been lights out from beyond the arc for Virginia, has made 5 threes in this game.
Georgia Tech just showed Tuesday night that they are never out of it. They trailed by 8 with 1:33 to go against Clemson, came back and won.
And now the pressure full court by Georgia Tech. Let's see if they drop back into the zone or stay man. Looks like they're going to elect to stay man.
Here's Beekman coming off the curl. Great pass. Beautiful play. Beekman put it to Rhodey right on the money.
And again, that's just the concept right there. Running that wheel cut. The help is not there. No communication. That's a beautiful find again by Beekman.
Kelly, quick trigger. Rattles in and out, no good.
Let's see the adjustment defensively by Georgia Tech again. Any screens, you have to communicate, and help has to be there.
Harris, the explosion, couldn't finish it though. Although batted off the hands of Kapari, so stays Virginia basketball. And McKneely checks back in. You knew he wasn't going to sit for long. 5 made threes for McKneely tonight, including 2 from the Georgia Tech logo. Jordan Minor goes with the left and cashes in.
And Jay, that's all set up by Reece Beekman breaking down the defense. Again, nice dribble drive on the baseline, and that's set up by a Minor. Nice soft jump hook.
Long rebound, fast break opportunity, rejected at the rim by Ndongo.
And Rhodey that time, again, hesitated right here. That's just great defense and hustle back to break up what looked like it was going to be a uncontested layup. Great effort play that time.
Now, Ndongo has had a phenomenal freshman year. This has not been his best night, but he has been one of the most consistent players for this Georgia Tech team. George, contested shot, gets it to go. Naithan George. Georgia Tech has a comeback in him. It might be on the back of that freshman.
Again, that's just the individual play right there. Not bad defense by McKneely. That's just a freshman hitting a tough off-balance jumper.
Final 5 minutes left in regulation. Virginia trying to close out what would be their first true road win. Beekman for 20. Rattled in, didn't drop. That was halfway down, but doesn't fall. Georgia Tech ball.
A big possession right here for Georgia Tech. 4:44 to go. Down 12, trying to cut this thing to single digits.
Sturdivant contested 3. Too much on it. Trying to battle for the offensive rebound, and he wins it. Great hustle by Sturdivant. Can the Yellow Jackets cash in now? George, the crossover. Couldn't finish it. Offensive rebound. Claude draws the foul. Well, credit Georgia Tech down 12, but they are putting everything on the line. Some great hustle plays to keep that possession alive.
Jay, one of the things that me and you talked about prior to this game, Georgia Tech, the job Damon Stoudemire has done, these guys, there has been no quit in this team, and they have continued to play hard. That's a big-time effort play that time on the glass by Claude.
And they have been dominated in the paint and on the glass tonight. Outscored by 24 points in the paint. And that's against a Virginia team that isn't exactly imposing usually in the paint, particularly in the front court, but Jordan Minor's played excellent tonight. Ryan Dunn has as well.
Yeah, I think Minor and Dunn really have done a nice job controlling the glass in this game. And you're right, those points in the paint have been huge. And Virginia has dominated that area, as you said.
McKneely finds Beekman, who draws the foul. Those two have combined for 34 points tonight. A terrific dynamic duo leading the Cavaliers on the road. They're 4 minutes away from moving to above 500 in ACC play and picking up their first conference road win.
It's been off of excellent ball movement, but for me, the guy that set the tone, Reece Beekman, he shot the ball well from the perimeter, 17 points, but for me, it's been his 8 assists in this game. He has set his teammates up for some easy opportunities to go along with the 2 steals.
And they each have 17 tonight. And you need that on the road where you've struggled. 0-4 on the season in true road matchups. All of them have been losses by at least 16 points or more. And you come in, get an effort from your top 2 players like that. And now 4 minutes away from closing out this victory.
Virginia going to run some clock on this possession.
They run clock on pretty much every possession.
Well, they're really getting deep into shot clock on this one.
Groves hoists an air ball as the buzzer blares.
Well, that's a good possession by Georgia Tech again. Forced a deep contested 3. Shot clock winding down. Certainly 3:39 to go. You don't need a 3, but if it comes obviously off a dribble drive and kick, you'll take it.
You are entering now or never territory if you're the Yellow Jackets. Ndongo trying to spin his way free. Great move. It's single digits. Full court pressure on.
And Virginia's done a nice job of breaking pressure by Georgia Tech. And this has happened a lot. Rhodey has been the guy to relieve some pressure from Beekman and McKneely.
McKneely gets free. Can't finish it. Dunn trying to rip down the offensive rebound. Battle for the ball. Won by Georgia Tech. Under 3 minutes to go in regulation. George puts it up. Baye, Ndongo hammers it home.
What a read by Naithan George to find that lob. Pinpoint pass for the slam.
The freshman connection gets this place the loudest it's been all night.
And Jay, the accuracy on this pass right here, all he had to do is go, catch it, and slam it. Beautiful find by the freshman, Naithan George. And Ndongo with the finish.
Ndongo now 10 straight games in double figures. What a phenomenal freshman year the Senegalese sensation has had here in Atlanta. And Georgia Tech on a 7-0 run. They've cut this lead in half. They trailed by 8 with 1:33 to go on the road at Clemson, and they found a way to win. Dunn, critical offensive rebound.
And that has been the story. But Dunn in particular has hurt them on the offensive glass.
Dunn drives baseline, draws the foul. He'll get 2 at the line.
Well, Ryan Dunn has 5 offensive rebounds in this game, and that drive is set up because of a second chance opportunity. Ryan Dunn has been dominant on the offensive glass for Virginia in this game.
Ryan Dunn at the line shooting 2.
You know, Dunn, certainly a pro prospect. The one thing that he probably needs to improve in his game is his foul shooting. Misses that one. He's under 60% from the line this season.
And really surprising because, again, you look at his mechanics on his free throw shot, not bad. Certainly right here, trying to make the free throw, extend this lead to 8.
Air ball. And Georgia Tech has the crowd in it. They've cut what was once a Virginia 15-point lead down to 7, under 2 minutes to go. To the freshman Ndongo. Going right into Jordan Minor. 10 seconds to shoot. And Minor called for the foul. That'll send Nate George to the line, shooting 1-1.
Cavaliers foul charge number 22, Jordan Minor, his 4th, 8th team foul.
Now, Jay, you were on
Number 12, Tyjon Claw.
the Georgia Tech win at Clemson, where they were down 8 with 1:33 to go. And I think one of the things that stood out to me as I watched that game was the poise and the execution that this Georgia Tech team had down the stretch on the road against a very good Clemson team.
You know, it's very similar, Malcolm. Mirrors that situation. That score was 68-60. This is 67-60. Found a way to get it to overtime and then won it in double OT on the road against a good Clemson team. Now just a 2-possession game on an 8-0 run over the last 4 minutes. George hits them both. Virginia in a scoring drought of 4 minutes and 30 seconds. It's allowed Georgia Tech to storm back on a 9-0 run. A 15-point lead is down to 5. Groves wide open from 3, and he buries it.
Well, you talk about end-of-game execution. That is a huge 3 by Jacob Groves.
Ndongo, the immediate answer. And David Stoudemire calls the timeout. 2-possession game, a little more than a minute left. Virginia trying to cling to their first road win of the day, leading the way. But Georgia Tech is storming back. They've got the crowd in it. They've made 3 in a row. And now an opportunity to try and do what they did Tuesday night, which was really come back from dead. They were down 8 on the road at Clemson, took it to double overtime and won. And that's the beauty of college basketball. You never know.
And the key now is the full court pressure by Georgia Tech. Now, in the past, they've used Rhodey to break pressure. They've inbounded the ball, then thrown it immediately back to Rhodey and let him bring the ball up.
That's
and they do it again.
And Georgia Tech coming out of the timeout, electing not to foul. Beekman with a double-double tonight, 17 points and 10 assists. Can he deliver another clutch moment for Virginia? Kicks it out, McKneely a 3. Got it! Isaac McKneely delivers again. His 6th 3 of the night. Georgia Tech answers. Stoudemire takes his final timeout. I mean, he should just go to the DMV and change his last name.
I'll tell you what.
McKneely.
Well, I'll tell you what. This is another big-time 3. Now, again, the closeout, you cannot lose sight of him. That's too much airspace for McKneely. He has been on fire tonight. You look at his numbers, 6 of 9 from the 3-point line. He's the one guy you stay home on. You almost face guard him. That time, Reece Beekman drove, nowhere to go. He lost sight of him for 1 second, too late on the closeout.
One of the best shooters, not just in the ACC, but the entire country. He's over 50% from 3 in ACC play. You just have to know where he is at all times.
And Damon Stoudemire talked about this. Again, he's got a young team. Okay, they're talented. They've done some really good things. But in the game situation right there, McKneely is the one guy you stay home on, in particular in a game like tonight, where he has caught fire from the 3-point line. Shot clock winding down. You cannot give him that much airspace. That's just a breakdown.
Georgia Tech had done well to battle back into the game, only for McKneely to hit yet another 3. That is his 3rd game with 6 threes or more this season.
Now comes down to breaking pressure and making free throws if you're Virginia. The key thing for Georgia Tech, it looks like they have somebody back playing safety. You don't want to get beat long.
Into McKneely. You certainly don't want to send him to the foul line if you're Georgia Tech. Jump ball, possession arrow with the Yellow Jackets, and just like that, Georgia Tech has life in this game.
Well, right now, if you look at it on the screen, Tony Bennett thinks that was a quick 5 seconds.
Substitution for the Cavaliers.
I think they called the jump ball.
Yeah, it looks like, again, Tony Bennett felt like he did not have possession of that. It still should have been Virginia ball.
Georgia 3, missed it. Offensive rebound. Georgia Tech has to hurry, started in a 3. 2 really good looks, missed them both. Minor the rebound, and that should do it. Beekman fouled, but Virginia can taste it.
Tech foul charge to number 13, Miles Kelly.
10 seconds away from winning their first true road game of the season.
Well, Jay, it looks like Virginia is going to hold on, and credit 2 things of their defense and then the play of their backcourt. McKneely and this guy at the line, Reece Beekman, has been huge in this game. Beekman now up to 18 points in this game. But I think the big number, 11 assists for Reece Beekman. He has done a little bit of everything for Virginia in this game.
Deep 3 from George. Too much on it. And that'll do it. Virginia holds on. The Cavaliers take down Georgia Tech and earn their first true road win of the season. Back-to-back wins for Tony Bennett's team.
Impressive. Their defense showed up tonight on the road. I think a couple of numbers that stand out, 21